Welcome to this week's Inner Circle call. This week we are focusing on the funnel builder. So how to really spec out, implement, set up a funnel that takes clients, candidates, prospects from being completely cold into being warm and then becoming your client stroke, your creating engagement and becoming your candidate and so forth. So breaking it down really simply, all we're dealing with today is the following. Number one, we've got traffic. Number two, we're going into our funnel, which we're going to create. And number three, out the back of that, we've got leads. We may have CVs. We've most definitely got engagement. But what we're focusing on is a funnel that sits in the middle to make this happen. So this is the real gold. This is once you've got a funnel set up, it can literally be scaled the hell out of. Barry, you're on the call. Your last webinar, I think you got the record for the most registrations this year. 315 was it in the end? We said in the other week, 315 new leads coming into your business. Got 94% is now the highest conversion rate inside. What we're focusing on is this bit here, how to make that happen, the actual funnel. What's the problem? Now I want you to really think about this. Don't just let skirt over the next 10 minutes and think, right, we're going through the problem, I want to get to the solution, I want to get the workbook, I want to be given the how-to. As I say a million times, once you get inside your prospect's head, once you get the pain points and the drivers correct, then you've got something that can scale, and scale big. You don't need hundreds of funnels, you need one funnel that converts, and then you can duplicate it and throw more traffic through it. So what's the problem we've got? The first problem is this. I see most recruitment companies out there, they're one-hit wonders. So what does that mean? If we use a strategy, an inbound strategy, so for example, we're distributing content and bringing leads to our website or bringing leads to our funnel, on the very first time we're saying, right, opt in, give us all your details, and I want you to tell me your current position in terms of hiring. We do that straight up front, so we're basically asking for sex on the first date. So someone's completely cold, they've seen us, and because we've got an inbound strategy, we're expecting them to go, hey, I've never heard of you before, I'm going to click on this link, and now I'm going to give you my requirements. That's not how it works. So the first problem I see with funnels is it's a one-hit wonder. We're asking for the proverbial getting married and the full hit on the first date. We need to take them through a set of steps we're going to detail. The second problem I see, you need to be relevant. The content of the funnel is poor. So what do I mean by that? If you're out in the marketplace, and let's say you're, and there's a few of you on the call, I won't mention any names, we had a strategy call and you told me you're in 6, 7, 8 niches. So we're using an inbound strategy and we've got confused messages, we've got confused prospects, we've got confused idea about our actual marketplace. So we've got confusion happening. Now let's say you actually do focus on a niche and you've got a message and they come to your funnel and they've opted in. Then the first page they've downloaded a lead magnet. The second page you'll then ask them for details about something completely different from the lead magnet. Third page, and it's not relevant, we haven't got a consistent message. A confused prospect will not take action. A confused prospect will not take action. So you need to really think about the content of your funnel. Now, I am not the one who knows your avatar. I do not know what your client and candidate, what drives them. So I'll say this again and again. Get inside your prospect's head is key. And then for the funnel, it needs to be relevant to them. And the content needs to be consistent and relevant to them. Now the next problem I see, no micro-committing. So what does that mean? It means someone's actually read an article of yours, or they've seen a video, or they've been on a webinar, they've come to a page, or they've had an email from you, they've come to a page, and they've actually said, do you know what, I trust this person enough to give them my details. They've now micro-committed. While they're at that point of micro-committing, we want to push that relationship along. So they might be at 0 before they actually came to that page. Now they've opted in. So they've micro-committed, they've gone to a 1, 2, 3. Now we want to actually take them to a 4, 5, 6. If we can do that all in the same funnel, we've pushed our relationship with our client and our candidate further along. So we want to micro-commit. So the registration is not where it ends. The opt-in is not where it ends. The download of the product or the tool or the lead magnet is not where it ends. So we want to keep micro-committing. So micro-committing is not saying I want to jump in the bed on the first date and right, tell me what requirements you got. It's taking them through steps of trust. Now some clients will do that extremely quickly, and they'll go from 0 to giving you full requirement, well, giving you details of their requirements right from the get-go. So those of you who have been through a similar process, you know if you go into marketplace completely cold and you've gone through a process, the first time people come to your funnel, you might get a very poor rate in terms of those actually telling you what requirements they got coming. Once you've been through the cycle, for example, the Maven cycle 3 or 4 times, you might suddenly get 30, 40, 50% completing surveys and giving you hot information, giving you leads. So we need to micro commit. The fourth problem I see is do not test. Again, these processes work. Metrics speak for themselves. You'll be told what your marketplace thinks about your funnel. Your marketplace will tell you what they think about your webinar. Your marketplace will tell you. So the key is to test. Even to this day, when we run a webinar, we have to test it 3-4 times. 3-4 times, even to this day, to get to the right point of conversion. If anyone in the marketplace gives you this is the template to create a funnel, copy and paste this, or if anyone tells you this is the exact script you're going to use for a webinar, run 1,000 miles. Your avatar of your client, of your prospect, is completely different from the avatar of Joe Bloggs down the street. There are different drivers for someone working in an HR department in the automotive industry than there is for someone who works in the trading floor of New York Wall Street Bank. Different drivers. That's why we use templates. Where we give you scripts, we will give you scripts. But the market will tell you whether your funnel works or not. So we're going to give you the components to give you as much chance of getting success straight away. But the market will tell you. So you need to test. You run through the process. Right, we've got 40% conversion. Should we see if we can get 60? Let's tweak it. Next problem I see of recruiters. Shiny thing syndrome. What does that mean? It means, right, I've just seen that so-and-so's just run a podcast strategy or a Maven strategy, and they've done awfully well. So do you know what? I'm going to drop my funnel, and I'm going to go and do one of those. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. You're focusing on something now which may be completely different for someone else in the group for a specific reason. You've got specific tasks because you're dealing with something completely different from someone else. Do not drop things. The key is this, and I learned this the hard way. I have made every mistake you can make in terms of building these strategies over the years, and even working with clients. Those of you at the moment, you know, there's 2 or 3 of you working with a handful of tools, and we're testing the tools, and you're testing some tools, and on the back of that, we'll see the results, and we'll create new strategies and then share them with the group. Your key is to focus on what's in front of you. So do not start to look at the next big shiny object. Now, I learned this the hard way. I read all the BS in the marketplace, so you need to have blogs, videos, and all dozens and dozens of different things. And do you know what? I achieved nothing. I achieved nothing. And then the first guy I spent $25,000 on for a one-hit set of training, just one hit, done, and a light bulb went off. Now, for over a year, we ran our business completely automated. So all our traffic came through one traffic source. I moved away from trying to get 10 different traffic sources. We had just one. That was joint venture partners on LinkedIn. So group owners, those with lists, they promoted us on LinkedIn. We have one automated tool. We have one conversion tool. So as we speak now, we've got 8 webinars running around the world. They look live, they're happening, and every single day we've got products being bought and we've got leads coming in. Now, some of you are doing this also exactly the same now. The lesson is this: one traffic source, one automated tool. And in that year, this is going back about 4 or 5 years, when I discovered just getting absolute focus on one funnel, it took off. Why? Because I then got something that converted. I didn't try and set up 3, 4 funnels and then said, oh, this doesn't work. I focused on one, and I became world-class at it. From that one funnel, I was asked to speak at the Canadian Marketing Summit. I became really well known around the world for LinkedIn and other pieces from one funnel. But that's all we did. Focused on one funnel. And to be blunt, I became lazy in my business because I didn't have to do anything else. And I had a really good year, and I worked 30 minutes a day. But this is the lesson. I had to test it repeatedly until I got it. Now, Barry on the call, as I said, I think he got the record for the most registrations this year on a webinar. I know the first time you ran the first few webinars, you were testing. Did the first one. I don't know what your figures were, you can put in the box, but I know you certainly didn't get 300 registrations the first time you did it. So you have to test it, and now they're a walk in the park for you. So you need to focus on this. If you want candidate engagement, We need authority marketing, but set up a funnel, let's convert and let's scale. If we want client leads, let's set up a funnel, let's get it converting and then scale. That's the key thing. Do not overcomplicate it. Now the seventh problem I see with recruiters is no follow-up, inconsistent follow-up. So we run through a campaign. Most campaigns are using the telephone, send out an email blast, maybe a bit of networking, etc., etc. Obviously, we're going to be a lot more controlled, a lot more focused on using automation, inbound, one-to-many tools. If someone goes through your funnel and they've filled out a survey or they've attended a webinar, it would make sense to follow up straight away. So if you've got 100 registrants for the webinar, it would make sense to follow up with those 100 potential clients, or those 100 potential candidates. And we want to be using automation. Now these are some of the additional tools we're testing as we speak today. We are testing more tools, but actually automating this specific part of the process. This isn't autoresponders, by the way. This isn't Active Campaign. This isn't Infusionsoft. These are specific tools. Creating strategies around how you can automate the follow-up with clients and candidates, so the entire process becomes automated. But I've seen lack of follow-up. So you run a webinar or run a funnel. Those who complete a survey, we got 20 people telling us they need X, Y, Z, or they'll be hiring in the next 6 months, and then we haven't got an automated process to follow it. It becomes haphazard. Number 8, really simply, overcomplicate it. You need 3 things. You need traffic, you need to convert the traffic, you need to scale. Don't overcomplicate it. So, Belinda, when you play this back, you last week before, Andy, I'm thinking about taking all our webinars and cutting them into mini segments, 5-minute videos, so each webinar then becomes 20 YouTube videos, etc. We're going to do that for our 7 webinars, and create the thingy of the thingy sequence, whatever it's going to be called. Sounds wonderful if you've got the resource for it. Do not overcomplicate it. If you brought on 10, 20 new clients in the next 6 months, that might be worth, I don't know, 100,000, it might be worth 1 million, it might be worth 5 million. I don't know what your figures are. You don't need to be creating a huge amount of traffic. What you need is to be creating a process that converts, and then you can scale. So do not overcomplicate it. Stop reading the other BS out there saying you need to be doing, oh, Pinterest is the latest hot thing, or fill in the blank. No. Do not overcomplicate it. Keep it really simple. 3 steps. And number 9, finally. I hate using this picture because it's absolutely everywhere. I love my personal development, love all things positive, but I see this picture everywhere. But it sums it up. I've run a webinar, didn't convert, or I've run a campaign, didn't convert. As I said, to this day, I run 3, 4 webinars till it converts. But then the beauty is, it's automated and runs for 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I don't have to do anything live again. So no telephone calls, no outbound, nothing. So that process of going through it, making sure my funnel converts, that's going to save me thousands of times, and you too. And for those of you already using one-to-many strategies, saves you an absolute huge amount of time. Get it converting. So the solution, really simple. Number 1, get clear on your funnel objective. Get really clear on your objective. So what do I mean by that? I mean, am I looking to grow my database? So if I start an agency tomorrow, and let's say that I want to focus on IT sales, and I'm going to focus on SaaS, and I didn't have a database, I don't have candidates, I don't have clients, the first thing I want to do is I want to grow that database as quickly as possible. I need to fill that database. So what I would do, of course, is identify where my traffic is. So very simply, I might use the content cannon and join 50 LinkedIn groups where my candidates and clients are. My objective is, right, I want to get maximum opt-ins. I want to get as many people into my database as possible. Number 2, I want to create a process whereby I can get as much information from them as possible. So for clients, are they hiring? For candidates, what's their current position? Have they got referrals? Are they open to moving? Who's their ideal client, and so forth? So how do I know that? I get really clear on my avatar. Really clear on my avatar. It's so important. Who is my avatar? And I say this over and over again, and I can't stress it enough. It's the most important thing you will ever do in your business in terms of growing it. Getting clear on your avatar. The automation and all the good bits around that can follow. But as soon as you know exactly who your candidate is, we know where we need to go fishing. As soon as you know what the key pain point is for them is, you know what your lead magnet is going to be. So get clear on your objective. Right, I want maximum opt-ins, or it might be I want webinar registrations, and also I want to get on a one-to-one with them. Maybe I want to get contact details for decision makers. I want to bypass the HR director and want to go straight to the decision maker, and I want to get their contact details. Get clear on what your objective is. We're going to come to that. Number 2, get clear on my traffic source. So we've got 2 types of traffic, keeping it really simple. We've got warm and we've got cold. Warm can be your LinkedIn first connections. It could be your network. It could be your email database. Cold could be completely cold. You've gone out there. It could be you've JV'd with someone, or that may be termed warm. It could be you've gone out and you're using a strategy for the first time. You've gone out to the marketplace and shared content for the first time. So be clear about your traffic source. So if you're going to get cold traffic and bring them to a page and say, hey, complete the survey, guess what? You're going to get a really poor show up rate. If you take them to a page and say, right, download this awesome, and we'll set up a funnel in a minute, but download this, how to win your next media sales role in less than 7 minutes, or how to overcome media sales objections. It's whatever's going to be a drive for candidate. If it's clients, it could be whatever your client pain point is. So the first step is to make sure you get them actually micro-committing. So if you've got warm traffic, you're going to have a slightly different funnel. If you've got cold traffic, it's best off at the beginning, not asking for too much. So a simple opt-in. We're going to go through examples of that. Number 3, spec out the funnel. Really simple. Where's my traffic? Am I using Facebook? What's our registration page? We're going to be using lead pages. It could be you're going to be using your website. You're going to use lead boxes. So when someone clicks on your website, a lead box pops up. Then we're going to follow up with an email. So spec out the funnel. Number 4, follow up while they're hot. Now this is one of the tools we're testing. Really cool tool. Effectively, it takes cold calling but does it online. Although we're not going to use it in any spammy way. It's a tool which automates the process of getting someone to respond to you. And it's not an autoresponder, it's much simpler than that. For those of you in larger organisations, I think it'd be a great tool to roll out across the business. Before anyone buys it, I'm actually speaking with the owners of these tools, and we're testing out different tools, and we're getting different results, not only in terms of the tools themselves, but getting different results in terms of the service we're getting from the client, the owners of the business, and their support team. So at the moment, next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be sharing with you some really cool tools that I'm so excited about adding this to the funnel as well. It's going to really take, so if you, for example, if you've got a list of, say, 300 candidates, and at the moment you're sending out a LinkedIn email, so you're sending out a handful a month, or if you're trying to chase them on the phone, you know that isn't a way to scale your business. Now, wouldn't it be good if you had a process that automated the engagement and it sent them messages until they replied? But the actual message you send it to is their work address or the contact address, not some personal address, etc., etc. So we're just combining a couple of tools at the moment to create processes whereby, so in this case, the only candidate you speak to are those who come back to you and they say, yeah, I want to speak. The only clients you're going to speak to are those who come back and say, yep, loved your webinar, or loved the whatever it might be, your lead magnet is, and they book into your diary. So add in this piece, these tools now. So you want to follow up while they're hot. So when they come into your funnel, we don't want to be leaving it too late. We want to be following up while they're hot. So in terms of a process, if you imagine they come to your funnel, they add their details. That happens on, say, a Tuesday, Wednesday, your assistant logs in, you've got the CSV file of the leads, uploads into the system, hit send. Template messages are in place. Really smooth process. You only speak to those who have actually come back to you and said, I want to speak to you. Number 5, key. For those of you who've been in the group for a long time, you know this. Let the numbers drive you. We want to work to percentages. We want to know exactly what your percentage points are, what your conversion points are, what's worked, what's not worked, scale what's worked, and pull back what's not worked. Hey there, so what do you think about that then? So the intent of that session was really just to let you understand that there are many companies like you in the same position. It's really just to let you understand that I get where you're at. So there's five key problems you might have there that you can relate to, and if you are, I completely empathise with what you are going through right now. But really what I want you to focus on is the outcome, to actually turn that around. So I've given you 5 key indicators and 5 key steps you might be able to move forward with. I've not given you templates, I've not given you the how-to, I've not given you the tools, I've not given you the overarching integrated strategy. It's only a quick video. But what we can do is we can jump on an agency growth action plan call, and on that call I will give you the how-to, and I will give you the steps, and I will give you the strategy. So on that call, what we can do is this. Before the call, I want you to just complete a couple of questions for me, so I've got some context. And then on the call, we can do this. If you need clients, I'm going to give you 3 strategies specific to your niche that are going to help you get, not just attract and all that woo-woo, but actually get clients that are going to pay you in the next 30 days. So you actually get clients who are going to pay you. That's inbound clients coming to you saying, Mark, can we speak on Tuesday at 2 o'clock? Rachel, on Thursday, can we speak at 4 o'clock? Nigel, Monday, can we speak at 7 o'clock? So actually clients coming to you. I'm going to show you how to do that. Number 2, if you need candidates, I'm going to give you at least one inbound system, to get candidates. And not just any candidates, but the candidates you need to get paid. So if you're searching on job boards, they're the candidates you cannot place. They're the ones who are open to everyone else in the marketplace. There are those who are actually looking for roles. They're those who have been placed before and have been asked to leave the company. They're not the candidates you want. You want the candidates who are passive, as you know. And the third thing is, whether you're looking for automation, whether you're looking for inbound, whether you're looking for systemization, whether you're looking to scale, go from 100k to 500k, or go from 500k to a million, or whether you're starting up and looking to get to your first 200k, I'm going to give you that momentum. So I'm going to do that on an agency growth action plan. So look below, click the button below, schedule your call. There's just a handful of questions there, literally just a handful. Give me as much information as possible. We're going to get on that call, and then we're going to get into solution mode. So I look forward to speaking to you soon. The places are strictly only for those who are really serious about change. So, as you can see, you've only got a handful of appointments there. So click the button below and really think about this. Are you looking to change your business now? Are you looking to really move from the old way of doing things to, I want inbound? Now, if you go to our website, you can go and check out dozens and dozens of case studies and all sorts of cool tools, strategies, webinars, all that cool stuff. But click the button below, schedule that call before they all go. I think we've got 5-6 appointments left, and then we'll go on to that 15-minute call, and let's knock this out of the park. So let's get the agency growth action plan call, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.